All right, so I am actually going to answer some of the questions as I do on a regular basis, right? So the first question that I am actually going to answer is, how is the weather today? All right, so if I would like to compare today's weather with in the days before yesterday and the day before yesterday. That means yesterday's and the day before yesterday's. So I would have to actually say that the weather is a bit comfy because yesterday what we actually realized is it actually seemed to us that it has already been summer, but today it's a bit comfy and it's like that. No, that means the winter season is still exist. All right. So yes, and I need to actually say that yes, the weather is so much chilly as well. I'm comfortable with that, and I love that as well. Anyway, the next question is, what is your favorite kind of weather? All right. So it actually depends on my situation or scenario. For example, if I am a learner and I am a student and I'm actually learning, so on that moment, yes, I actually prefer the winter season. And then another one is the rainy season. The reason of choosing this weather is, so since I am a learner and I am actually having to study, right? So that means in winter we are not to actually depend on any kind of ventilation, right? Like fan or AC, right? All right. On the contrary, in summer, either we are actually having to depend on the fan or the AC, right? And even if we don't have the electricity, so everything will be literally ruined, right? So if I am not actually stable and if I am not actually feeling a good or comfortable with the environment, so there is obviously no question rises to actually pay heed too much on my studying or task, right? So because of only this thing, so I actually prefer to what okay, I actually prefer the rainy and the winter season because I am not actually think about it, right? However, there is a heat as well in rainy season. Is We are not being able to actually see most of the times. That means the sky is so much cloudy. At the same time, there are many natural disaster actually happens, resulting into we actually encounter the electricity problem, right? But overall, if I would like to actually say, yes, I will have to actually say, in terms of working, or in terms of being so much motivated, the summer is absolutely good. Because whenever there is a quotation, probably I told many times that if morning shows the day, okay? So if I am actually looking at the outside after waking up, that the environment is so much shiny on the moon, it automatically provides me a vibe so that yes, I need to do something, and I am, since I am jolly, and I will definitely do something better. That type of message most of the times we actually get in our subconscious mind, okay? But on the contrary or conversely, so if I would like to actually see that the environment has to be like this, and I actually got like this. So if I see any kind of mismatch between these two, so it will also be impact in our focus or progress as well. And yes, there are many people I encountered who actually totally do not depend on or rely on the weather. and I absolutely salute them, because yes, they are real gem, because they don't care about the environment. They have their own control. Okay, so whatever the weather is, wherever they are, they just can go with the flow. That is literally one of the greatest skills. I need to actually admit that. All right, anyway, now let's move on our next question, that is there any type of weather you really don't like? Probably I actually said. Okay, so mostly I actually like either it has to be summer or winter. Yes, I actually love at times the rainy. However, since we are to actually go outside and we are to actually go for something, and there are too much for example, if I have many works, and I am actually having to go out, okay, so on that moment I need to actually carry the whole day umbrella, or I need to actually wear a raincoat, right? So which I really don't like, okay, and most importantly, and another thing is, in the rainy season, and the roads actually become a bit slippery, everyone can actually just slip away, right? So these are very dangerous, number one. And number two is, I need to actually say, yes, we actually encounter many mosquito in the rainy season. Why? Probably when it rains, right? And the inhabitant of the many insects, all right, so it actually destroy, okay, resulting into, so they, for seeking their inhabitant, they actually come out from their home or their inhabitant to ours, right, resulting into, we actually have heard loads of times that there are loads of snakes, all right, do you know what is, okay, snake, okay, and many more, right, and which are extremely dangerous, right? So yeah, and overall, and this is the only weather I actually don't like. However, but I need to actually be cope up with that, okay, but because of uh having iman to our creator, we need to actually admit that, because this is actually ultimately beauty, right? And if we don't have any kind of variation, it will be so much dull for us, right? So yes, we have some sort of variation. Yes, at times we love that as well, and everything actually depends on our creator, and he, if he actually wants, there is nothing to actually say about it, right? All right, now let's move on. Wait, okay, now let's move on our next question, that is, do people change in the summer? What, wait, uh, okay, I actually skipped probably two questions. Let me go back a bit. All right. So, what is the climate like in your country? All right. So, we will have to say that yes, uh, the locations that our country is based on. So, we'll have to actually think that no, it's neither too much hot nor too much cold, right? So it's in the medium, right? And in Bangla, this is called Natishitushna. That means it's neither too much hot, neither too much cold, right? So resulting into what we actually experience is, whenever we are actually thinking of doing something, we can actually do these things very easily, okay? And because of having this kind of variation, we actually enjoy a lot as well. And the temperature, which is a bit tolerable, we can actually put up with that. And recently, due to the climate changes in all over the world, right, so yes, we are actually facing extremely a bit uh, harder than the previous years, and it is actually constantly increasing, okay, or enhancing, because we are cutting down our forest, number one, and we are actually burning fuel, and at the same, there are lots of factors or parameters behind this anyway. So because of this, I need to actually say yes, the countries that I am actually belonging, and it had actually 6 seasons. Right now we are only getting probably max 3 seasons, okay, and everything has been actually changed due to the climate change, and this is the only reason of actually um, coming a bit little of the season, right? Anyway, the next question is, does the weather affect people's life in your country? I would have to say, by and large, yes. Just think about who are rickshaw puller. When it rains, most of the rickshaw puller actually cannot go out due to not having proper the safety raincoat or the shed, number one. And why? Because if even if they are actually going, and they are actually just um, if they are actually going out for earning money, so on that moment, if they encounter the rain, at times they get sick, resulting into they they become actually, whenever they actually become sick, and it costs more than that the money that he actually earned, right? For example, he for one day he actually earns 1K, and if he actually gets sick, he will have to actually spend almost 1K or more than 1K. So what's the point of actually just taking this kind of risks, right? So for this reason, yes, there are a couple of shoppers and who actually cannot live properly, cannot actually maintain their bread and butter, okay, due to the weather, number one. And when it comes to the summer, the same thing goes for them as well. And these are like, okay. And the job is so much harder for those people who are genuinely doing the field related job, all right? For example, if there is a rain, and if we actually think about the bike rider, right? And yes, they will definitely face the issue. And if we actually think about the marketing manager or sales manager, these are like field related job or tasks, right? So whenever it is actually raining or something, they are actually having to perform their job, and at times it actually hampers their, even if they have everything, okay, so they actually cannot do as they were supposed to do, okay. For example, he or she is actually having to go anywhere and within 5 minutes, and if it is in the summer or winter, it would definitely take 5 minutes, right? So when it comes to rainy, so on that moment, yes, instead of going there within 5 minutes, it would definitely take more than 10 minutes, okay, because they will not be able to actually work first, number one. Why? Because whenever they are actually working so fast, and one funny thing actually happens to everyone, most of the cases, that is, whenever they are actually walking, and with this walking, there are the dust of the roads actually comes in their pants behind their legs, right? Okay, so this is the common phenomenon in the rainy season. And number two, whenever he is actually walking so fast, and there is a high chance that they might actually slip, okay. And yeah, these are the things. That means it's a bit it takes a bit time. Okay, so yeah, this is probably only one weather I need to actually say, and I need to actually just think about that. Yes, I am not actually big fan of that. Okay, now the next question is, do people change in summer? Of course. People actually wear different clothes and have different items based on the weather. If it is in the summer, so people actually love to wear the light clothes, which are so much thin. Okay, number one. And number two, they make sure that they are actually having the cold items, that means the beverage items, to actually uh, to actually evade their quest, because on that moment become people actually become so much thirsty. All right. Okay, now wait a minute. Just I am actually okay. So I have just actually grabbed my coffee anyway. So for that reason, I actually stopped a bit. So what I was telling you is, so the number one, their clothes. Number two, the most of the times they always try to actually have the light items as well, because if we actually have the more spicy item, so that means the temperature is so high, and if we actually have the same, so it may actually malfunction in our tummy. Okay, for that reason they actually become so much aware of that. Number two. Number three is they always try to carry umbrella to to actually make them a bit feel of the comfort, right? And whenever the sun rays is actually coming, so that they can actually protect themselves, they actually use that. And even they are not being able to actually do that, so in that case they actually try to walk in that way where the sun rays is not actually coming directly. Okay, so they definitely avoid these things. I, as far as I know, I think I have covered this, and probably there are many reasons as well, but I'm not being able to actually say right now. Anyway, the next question is, does bad weather affect transport in your country? Of course. The bad weather means, if I would like to actually say, most importantly, the first thing I need to say is the rainy. And I'm actually often with this with this weather. Okay, so it is actually sharing my opinion. All right, so okay, rainy. And when it comes to summer, yes, whenever there are relentlessly heat, the temperature, everyone is actually sweating. There are lots of extinction, right? That means we are being involved with that kind of things, and at times we just experience lots of bad experience, right? And lots of bad uh, fragrance. Okay, so yes, this is number one. And when it comes to actually going anywhere with the help of the public transport, but when it comes to the rainy, yes, at times we actually even don't get the vehicles, and even if we get, they charge too much from the regular price. It proves that yes, the bad weather affects transport in our country as well. All right. The next question is tell me about the weather in your country at different times of the year. I already answered of that questions in my previous one of the questions. Anyway, all right. So in a brief way, if I would like to actually say, we had 6 seasons due to the climate change. We have now 3 seasons. One is summer, rainy, and the winter. So, if I would like to actually say, right now we are in January. So December to January, it's more or less likely winter, and it will come summer, afterwards rainy, and then winter. That's how the cycle actually goes on. So this is like the weather in my country. And in fact, I actually enjoy it as well. Okay. The next question is, which time of the year did you enjoy the most when you were a child? Okay. So when I was actually a child, I loved somehow the rainy season so much. Why? Because the place where I actually belong to, so there is a field playground. So yes, and because of being so much little younger, so I actually couldn't get the enough opportunity to actually play with seniors or with my peers. Okay, because they actually didn't allow us to actually play, because everyone actually goes in the afternoon to play over there. Whenever we actually go there, we actually do not get any kind of place to play. Okay, unless or until we actually go fast. That means yeah, most of the time even we actually just selected our area, and if any kind of if anyone from the seniors actually come to us that, hello, you will not be able to play, we will play here. So we actually couldn't do anything. But when it comes to actually rainy season, that means when it is actually raining, everyone actually goes out from the playground, right? That means the whole playground is vacant or empty, resulting into, so I, along with some of my friends who also love to actually play in the rainy season, we would actually play a lot on that very moment when it rains, and we really enjoy that. Okay, so yes, for that reason it was my favorite. Okay, and number two, should I actually share that or not? And it is one of my friend's story. He actually loved the season so much because of only one thing. That is, whenever it rains, and for example, he has been actually sad to actually go to his school, and somehow he is thinking of not going there. So what he actually does is, he actually just put on the school dress and everything, and he actually leave his home at the perfect time. Everything is okay, but before reaching the school, he always actually just try to walk um, the slippery area, like where the mud is actually just available, something like that area. Why? Whenever he actually works there, he willingly actually fell from there. He slipped by himself. People may not actually think about it. So I actually get so much dirt, and with this dress, he actually goes to school and just tell the teachers that, hello sir, I have at the time of coming to school, I just fell from fell away, and that's how for that reason I am not being able to actually do the class right now. I will have to actually go to my home. And the teacher has no option, and the teacher said, okay, no problem, your attendance is done, and you may actually leave today. So that's what he actually do in this rainy season, and he always think of doing this, and in fact he always pray so that the rainy season actually exists in the whole year. That was funny, by the way. All right. Anyway, the next question is, okay, do you usually pay attention to weather forecasts? Okay. I will have to I will have to actually say that by and large, I actually pay attention somewhat in a weather forecasting. Why? Because there are many signals. For example, I am actually planning for going somewhere else, and and after actually getting the information or weather forecasting, we actually just cancel our trip or something like that. Okay, so it actually helps us to actually make a decision, and it doesn't mean that we will actually always depend on that. Okay, so yes, we actually just try to use it when it comes to actually go for anywhere else at times, because it's a prediction, right? So at times it actually occurs, at times it's not, right? So but I need to actually say yes, more or less I at times actually rely on that. Okay. And the next question is, has the weather changed? Has the weather changed much in your country in the recent year? Of course, as I told you, that because of being climate change, there are lots of changes we actually encountered in the whole world. Okay, so ranging from our lifestyle to the the motion of the environment, everything. Okay, so everything has been actually changed, right? And due to this, and just think about, just make me an example here, put me an example here, that is, whenever the sun is actually rising, there are loads of gases like carbon dioxide, methane, nitrogen, many other gases, right? So they have interesting characteristics. They can actually retain the heat, resulting into our globe is actually becoming hot and hotter day by day, right? Okay, number one, resulting into whenever we have the Mount Everest as well, right? So Mount Everest is actually melting due to these tropical weather. So whenever Mount Everest is actually melting or oozing, the level of the sea, the water level of the sea is actually rising, resulting into there are lots of local area beside this sea, they are actually getting flooded, number one, or inundated. So that's how we are. And not only that, and as we actually know that in the sea there are sodium, right? When it actually goes or spread in the field actually lost its potentiality, resulting into we actually do not get the proper output from there because of mixing this sodium with the soil, and we are actually getting we are actually resulting into, we are not actually getting the food properly. Ultimately, it is going to be destroyed. It is actually decaying, right? Our whole life cycle. So yeah, it actually depends on the climate change, right? And now the question is, from where the gas is in our air, right? Okay, just let me clarify about this in this way, that at the time of actually generating electricity, we are to actually burn either coal or many other fossil fuel, right? So they create carbon dioxide, methane, and many other gases. And we had the ozone layer, right? Which would protect us from the UV ray, by ultraviolet ray. Whenever the ozone layer is actually destroying or broken out, so the UV ray is actually coming directly. For that reason why, and it actually just fall on us or anything, that means we get easily affected with the cancer. So it's a huge, for that reason the whole world is actually concerning about it. They are looking for the alternatives. Okay, and let me tell you one thing as well. The advancement, that we actually see in the whole world, the countries which we actually consider the top classes countries, like US, UK, and different types of European countries, right? Sweden, Denmark, something like that. They created these kind of things. They are actually burning lots of things, but we all the countries people are the sufferer of this. They did the things, they made the mistakes, but we are to having to actually pay that price. Okay, so it's very interesting, right? Anyway, so I am actually going a bit in the off topic now, coming back to our main topic. All right, the next question is, what's the weather usually like in your country or your hometown? Or as I told you that, yes, in Bangladesh we had three, and most of the times what we actually experience is there are lots of sunny weather, summer, and rainy a bit, and the winter is quite a few, right? So these are the most of the times that we actually face the weather that we actually have is like warm. Okay. All right. Now next question is, how is the weather here different from the weather in your hometown? Here means they actually didn't mention. For example, I am actually in somewhere or like Los Angeles or something like that. Anyway, so I am in, just consider that South Korea. So the weather of that country is too much low, right? And in fact, which we can't even consider, because they actually experience there are lots of snowfall as well, right? But in my country, this kind of winter we have never ever encountered, right? So yes, it would be so much different compared to this kind of things, and I'll not be able to actually say or answer these questions properly because of not specifying the country, okay, through which I can actually compare or contrast. Okay, anyway, now coming back to our next question. Would you say the weather in your hometown is suitable for working or studying? Of course, I need to actually say yes. The weather that we actually have, it's we are actually 100% okay with that. But one thing I need to actually add here is the tropical weather is actually so much growing, and in fact, in summer it's too much pathetic and too much extremely annoying for the working students as well. Okay, as I told you that the electricity problem is a big issues in my country, in the especially in summer weather. All right, now let's move on our next question, that is, would you like to move a place with different weather? It actually depends, but yes, if I actually ever get any kind of chance, I would definitely go there. But I love the vibrant. Okay, so if I would like to actually go in the UK, so the weather of the UK is unpredictable. Right now, if I actually see that it's like raining, and after a few seconds we will actually encounter that it's sunny, right? This and mostly these countries experience the rainy season so much. Okay, so yeah, and if I would like to actually consider the Middle East, they are too much hot, right? Too much warm, and in fact there is few rain actually occurred in that means uh, there is no rain, in one word, if I would like to actually say, right? So if I go to the European countries, these countries are a bit cold, not a bit, too much colder, right, than us. Yes, it actually depends on the situation. Yes, if I would like to actually get any chance, I would definitely go for the vibrant environment. Okay. Uh, okay, let's see what is actually waiting for me. Okay, but I don't actually want to go. I would love to actually stay here in my own country, in my own motherland. Alright, so the next question is, does the weather affect the way that you feel? Of course, that is, I could say, yes, this is the only one that I need to actually accept or admit that, and in fact, this is my weakness as well, because I am actually controlled with the weather. Okay, because if the weather is so fine, or so inspiring, that yes, it really inspires me. Okay, and if I actually experience that and the weather is a bit gloomy, I will also feel the same. And if the weather is a bit smile or shiny, so I also do the same thing, right? Yeah, it actually depends, but those who have don't have not have don't have that kind of environmental or weather effect, they are genuinely boss. They can actually do, they are like they can actually control on their own. Okay, all right, the next question is, what's that? Okay. Do people like the weather in your country? Mostly, the people of my country actually love that. But as I told you, that one thing that is the heat. Okay, in summer season, the temperature is so much rising, and these things are a bit pathetic and sad for everyone. But mostly overall, if they actually consider, yes, they are actually happy with that. Okay, the environment, especially the weather. Okay, all right. The next question is, do the kinds of outside activities people do in your country change when the weather changes? Yes, people people actually love to do different types of things based on the weather. And let's say outside activities. Outside activities. What types of activities maybe? Okay. Alright, so in summer, people actually love to go outside and they can actually do whatever they would like to. And as per their jobs or as per their schedule, they can actually do it very, very good. And in fact, I need to actually check that question. I'm not being able to actually answer that questions properly. Probably I need to actually mark that and I will have to actually go through this. Okay, this is the question that I am actually uh, mm, I can actually provide a just a superficial idea about it. That is something like that. Do the kinds of outside activities people do in your country change when the weather changes? Um, yes. Let's say those who actually sell something, uh, just staying on the street, they when it rains they actually try to change that activity. That means they look for somewhere where they can actually sell all of those things, and they always prefer not to actually sit in the street or something like that. Anyway, so I need to actually change, I need to actually go through this. Okay. All right, now let's move on our next topic, which is related to work. Okay. And do you have a job right now? Yes, I am actually doing a job, and luckily I actually got this job on the very first day of the very year. Okay, of that very year. And I actually had two good news on the very day, because it was on my birthday as well, and on that very day I actually got my job. Okay, and yes, I'm actually happy with that. I am really grateful to my creator for doing all of for doing all of those things. Okay, so yeah, I have job, and I am actually working as a customer, sorry, a student counselor advisor, and it is like remote job, and I am actually working for the UK students mainly. Anyway, so the next question is, do you enjoy your job? Of course, I really love that job, because I always wanted to actually work with the foreigners, and luckily I actually got the same job. Okay, so yeah, it is actually so much uh so much. I really enjoy, I am over enjoyed, I need to actually say, because I love that. And I don't think this is a job. Okay, so I always think that yes, I am just actually chatting, I'm just gossiping, I'm just discussing with them. Okay, so it's literally fills me fills me so happy. Okay. All right, now the third question is, what responsibilities do you have at work? Okay, the first thing, I need to actually talk to the students, number one, and number two is I always try to actually figure out their problems, and then I actually suggest them what courses should they actually go for, and everything. If they actually face any kind of problems, we actually help them at the right way. All right. So the next question is, what is your typical day like at work? Okay, so I just go there and start working, and then I um mm, actually work at a stretch, probably 3 to 4 hours, and then I actually take a break, and on that moment I actually have something or like that, and then again I still start my work, and that's how my days actually goes on at the work. Okay, the next question, what would you change about your job? Okay, if I actually get chance, I would definitely change the time zone of my work job. Okay, so, and another thing is, I would actually create the separate, isolated room for individuals. Okay, because there should be a bit privacy as well. Okay, so yes, I would definitely do that. And number three, that okay, since we are actually working with the UK, at times we actually get confused. That means what can we actually address to them, and what should we actually say them? Should we say good morning or good afternoon, good evening? Okay, due to this time zone. Okay, so for that reason, yes, there has to be a clock which will be like of that very specific clock. Okay, so it would be very compelling for us. Okay, and it would be very attractive for us. I reckon. And number three, uh, yes, there should be a notice board as well, and where anyone would like to actually, if anyone would like to actually know something, they can actually put over there, or if they would like to actually provide us any kind of things, message or something like that, or information, they can actually share this in on it. Okay, so yeah. Now let's move on to our next question. That is, okay, what job do you think you will be doing in 5 years? Okay, in 5 years, since I am an engineer, and right now the job that I am actually doing, it is non-departmental job. Okay, so I actually joined this job because I actually tried a lot to join in my departmental jobs, but unfortunately I actually couldn't manage that so far. And for that reason, since I am a graduate, I need to actually work on, right, and as a fresher nobody actually allows us, right? So I actually thought in a way that instead of actually sitting at home, I had better actually go for any job, number one, and I'll be able to actually gain experience at the same time, and I'll be able to actually spend my time as well. Okay, so these are the things for the reason I actually chose that. And yes, in future, if I actually definitely, if I actually get any job of my departmental related, okay, so I definitely switch that as well. Okay, the next question is, what skills and qualifications are required for this job? Okay, the first skills that they actually clearly mentioned is you need to talk to in English, number one. Okay, and number two is you need to have the basic literacy in terms of using the computer. Okay, and number three, you need to have the patience. These are the things, the combination of these things, I reckon. All right, the next question is, do you get on well with your coworkers? Oh, okay. So, yes, I just recently wait, something happened in my PC. Let me just okay. extremely sorry for that inconvenience. Okay. Okay. All right. Anyway, so the next question is, do you get on well with your coworkers? Of course, I actually have a good relationship with them because of only this. Okay, so I actually really go on well, and in fact, they also do the same thing, and every single day we actually hang out, and every single day we actually pass our quality full time with each other. Okay, and I need to actually say yes, because of them. And just think about, if I am not actually enjoying over there, yes, the job that I am actually doing, yes, there are many tasks, right? So at the same time, whenever I am actually thinking of the environment, if I actually look around and if I see that there are the people who with whom I'm actually working, that means my co-worker, if they are not so much friendly and I am not actually talking to them, so there is a high chance that yes, I may actually lose my interest, right? So yes, everyone has, I need to actually say that everyone is so much helpful, and they actually treat well, and they are well behaved, and for that reason we can actually say that yes, I have really good, I have really a very get on well with my co-workers. Okay, that's for sure, I could actually say that. The last question is, are there good work opportunities in your home country? That's a funny question. Okay, based on the country of mine. Okay, why? Alright, so are the good work opportunities in your hometown? I would have to actually say with regretfully that really the graduate that we actually see every year there are around 27 lakh people, that means students, each year pass their university or college and everything, right? But how many jobs are available for them? Okay, just if I would like to actually consider the private and the public and the business, it would consist at least 15 to 20 lakhs. What about the 5 to 7 lakhs? So they are unemployed, right? Number one. And the next year, the same thing, okay? Almost we have 5 lakh unemployed. And with that, we already got another 5 lakhs. Total 10 lakh. That's how the unemployment rate is increasing, okay? And the biggest thing in my country to actually get a job is just you need to have a reference, okay? And if you have a good reference, no need to worry about your subject, no need to about your qualifications, no need to about any other issues, okay? You will definitely get the jobs, that's for sure. Okay, because in this country the people actually, that means the people who have the quality, and yeah, those who have quality, they either actually going abroad, number one, or they are actually becoming unemployed, and due to this they are being so much frustrated, and at times we actually see that commit they commit suicide as well. So because of this third class educational system, okay, I myself include with this system as well. All right. Okay, so anyway, and we actually expect to get better, and let's see, the rest of the things will depends on the scenario or the mentality of the people of my own country, because the leaders, the person who are going to be the ruler of that country, they themselves corrupted a lot from their respective place. Just think about that means I don't want to actually mention anyone's name more specifically. Just I am actually saying on a whole that they already sent their child, okay, their son or daughter, to study in abroad, okay, and even they have their own passport for most of the cases. They will just roasted us, and okay, so you will be able to relate more if I would like to actually put another example in a way that there is a coconut, and they are actually breaking this coconut on your head, and they are having the main ingredients of the coconut, and the shell is actually providing to you something like that. All right, if they actually thought the education systems and the country is much better, why do they send their children to to the foreign countries? That is the big question. All right, so yes, that means they don't care about the people who are in Bangladesh. They always care about their family. And not only that, how will they actually just corrupt? How will they actually just earn money from the country? Okay, how they will actually exploit the people? Okay, and by taking all of those money, they will just run away. Most of the cases that actually happens. So yes, we actually don't know, and when these kind of things will be actually minimized or lowered, because those who will actually survive, those who will actually those who will actually lead the country, they themselves leaving first from that very country, resulting into there are many people who actually don't have the qualification to become any position from the village, let alone they are being the MP, that means the position that they are actually holding, it's literally far away from their respective field, respective place. Okay, so yeah, these are the pathetic thing for us. Okay, and I don't want to actually say anything, and in fact I don't have to actually say anything, and everyone actually knows about it regarding this, what is actually going on. Alright, so that's what about my today's topic, and I can actually see that it has already been 58 minutes. Anyway, so that was for today, and I hope. Okay, so wait. Let me go another topic as well, and afterwards we will be able to actually move our next topic, the whole new topic. Okay, so I had better actually go through this as well. Okay, this is about writing. Do you enjoy writing? Yes, I love to actually enjoy writing, and most importantly, the writing which I actually write is it's mostly my academic. In fact, the writing which I actually write, it is like scribbling. Okay, so I always try to actually compose all the things in one big pages. For example, if I actually do some sort of courses, and if I have many lectures, I always try to actually accumulate everything, number one. And number two, from there, which are so much important for me, I always try to actually gather all of the things in one pages, in one single page, resulting into, if I just look at these very pages, I will definitely get the whole overall idea about it. For that reason, I actually love to do that. Okay, all right. Now the next question is, what age do children normally learn to write in your country? Okay, at the very basic stage, whenever they actually just for the very just enter or get access to the school for the very first time, from that very moment they actually just try to learn to write. Okay, at times they just copying this and the words that later same over and over, right? That's how they actually learn in my country. Okay, and probably it is actually suitable for many other countries as well. No, I'm not sure. Okay, so the third question is, did you write a lot when you were a child? I need to actually say yes. When I was child, I was influenced by others people writing. Whenever I actually see that he has a good writing in different way, different style, okay, he is actually following. So I would definitely follow them, and I would definitely try to write them. Okay, and in fact, I will continue this writing more or less 15 to 1 month. Okay, and then if I actually encounter all of a sudden any other people's exercises book, and if I see that this is different from the previous one, so I would definitely try that. So that's how I actually can write in different style. Okay, based on the context, I actually use all of those things. Okay, yes, so it actually helped me a lot, and in fact I actually started working on, I was child, not child, and I actually became a bit a teenage, right? So on that moment, yes, I actually did a lot. Okay, all right, now let's move on. Do you ever write letters? Okay. Yes, when I was child, yes, I actually wrote this a lot, a lot, a lot, because right now, whatever we are actually going to send, anything, we can actually do these things with the help of email, right? And when it was in back in, okay, so I okay, one more thing, to I let me actually say before I forget, that is, yes, I used to actually write a lot letters in my khata, not for anyone. So that is funny, right? Because you may actually think, oh my goodness, does he actually write a letter for whom, right? So okay, for that reason I actually clarify this. I actually wrote the letter when it comes to in my exam, right? They actually say, suppose you are da da da, and you will write a letter and da da da, something like that, right? That kind of question I actually got so many times. So for that reason I actually having to write this letter. But in real life, I have never ever actually wrote or any kind of chances to write the letter. Okay, and nowadays we don't have, probably it has already been backdated. Right now we have been updated, right? We are actually using email. Okay. Okay, now let's move on our next, and this is in fact the last question. That is, do you prefer writing letters or sending emails? Of course, and there is no question of writing letters nowadays, because just think about, if I would like to actually go anywhere, for example, this place to that place, if it is too long distance, so in this era we'll actually think of going this place to that place with the help of cart, with the help of the cows vehicles. No, not at all. Or we'll actually consider of going there with the help of rickshaw. No, never, right? So that means, so it will be a bit like that. Whenever, since we have already our updated things, that means sending emails, and right now it is widely used, and I am sure, and I can in fact bet that there is no one who is not actually using any kind of emails nowadays, right? So yeah, instead of writing a letter, so we actually definitely go for the sending emails. Okay, and in fact, if I actually write a letter, so I'm not sure that this letter will be actually sent properly on a number one. Even this letter is actually sent, how long it will take, I am not sure about it. And even if he actually receives it, and he will literally be shocked, and he may actually answer of that or not, and he will literally be shocked at looking at this, right? Anyway, so in this era, it will be absolutely ridiculous or absurd if we actually write later instead of sending emails. Okay, however, there are many letters that I actually saw, which is like people are actually send directly, okay, and writing the letters, okay, instead of sending emails in different types of organization, in government organizations. Yeah, they actually use that a lot, and it is already being reduced so much. Okay, all right, so that's what about today's topic, and for now I can actually conclude my video here. So I am actually winding up my video here, so I will see you in the next video. Thank you.